In 1986, the American forces attacked Libya, in 2002, Iraq, and then in 2014, Syria. Whenever the United States wanted, it tried to reshape the fate of the Middle East. But there is one country that has not come under their control for decades, and that is Iran. Even today, the United States and Israel are trying to find cracks in Iran's fortress, which will not be easy. History is witness that for the past 600 years, not even 1 inch of Iran's borders has moved. Whether the attackers were Romans, Arabs, Turks, Russians, or even the British Empire, Iran has repeatedly proven that it has the strength to withstand even the biggest attacks. But what is the real secret behind this strength? What makes Iran so different and resilient compared to other Arab countries? Viewers, first, let's talk about the gift that Iran has received from nature. If Iran is described in one sentence, it is a massive fortress, one whose walls were not built by humans, but by nature itself. The country is surrounded by mountains on all sides. In the south, the Zagros mountain range acts as a wall against enemies coming from that direction. Toward the southwest, these mountains gradually slope toward Iraq, but in the northwest, they become so high and rugged that they form an almost impossible border with Turkey. Where there are no mountains, there are marshlands, especially where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers meet. These marshes act like a natural barrier, similar to a deep moat in front of a fortress. Moving north toward the Caspian Sea and Azerbaijan, the Alborz mountain range provides protection. In the east, smaller mountain ranges wrap around Iran like a ribbon, forming borders with Afghanistan and Pakistan. Altogether, these mountains protect Iran like a fortress, while the Persian Gulf serves as its final defensive wall in the south. If someone tries to invade from the Persian Gulf, they face mountains up to 1.5 kilometers high, extending nearly 250 kilometers inland. Geography plays a crucial role in controlling a country. Just like Afghanistan has remained protected due to its mountains, Iran has also benefited from these natural defenses. Over the past 600 years, all attempts to conquer Iran have failed. Inside Iran, there are also 2 major deserts, Dasht-e-Kavir and Dasht-e-Lut. These are so barren that people are forced to live in mountainous regions. Most of Iran's 90 million population lives in these areas. This makes it extremely difficult for any foreign army to enter and control the country. Invaders would face logistical challenges, stretched supply lines, narrow routes, and harsh weather conditions. However, there is another side to this story. These same mountains that protect Iran also restrict its expansion. Historically, whenever Iran tried to expand westward, these mountains became obstacles. That is why Iran does not rely on direct warfare in the region, but instead uses a network of Shia proxy groups such as Hezbollah in Lebanon, Houthis in Yemen, Islamic resistance in Iraq, and Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Palestine. Now let's talk about the Strait of Hormuz. As mentioned before, this strait holds immense strategic value for Iran. The entire northern coastline of the Persian Gulf belongs to Iran, while the southern side is shared by 7 countries: Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, and Oman. The entrance to the Persian Gulf is called the Strait of Hormuz. On the northern side lies Iran's coastline, while on the south is a small part of Oman. Iran's side forms a V shape, allowing it to control it from 3 sides. Oman's side is narrow and limited. Because of this, Iran has always found it relatively easy to block the strait, and now, after US-Israel tensions, it has exercised this option. Iran has clearly warned that any ship heading toward Hormuz could be destroyed. This could pressure not only the Gulf countries, but the entire world. That's because 20% of the world's oil, 90% of Qatar's LNG, and about 5% of the global economy depend on this route. In 2026, The global economy was worth $120 trillion. Closing Hormuz could wipe out $6 trillion instantly. Iran's third advantage is its long coastline. The country's total perimeter is 8,731 kilometers, with 2,815 kilometers of coastline along the Caspian Sea and Persian Gulf, about 32% of its borders. But this is no ordinary coastline. Instead of flat beaches, there are mountains. Iran has installed missile batteries at secret locations with caves and blind spots that cannot be easily detected by satellites or drones. Even if an enemy lands, they would immediately face mountainous territory and sudden attacks. After geography, Hormuz, and coastline, Iran's third defensive shield is its population diversity. Iran is a multi-ethnic country, home to Persians, Azeris, Kurds, Arabs, Baloch, Turkmen, and others. Managing such diversity is challenging as each group demands rights and protection of its language and culture. Many of these groups have centuries-old conflicts. Although Iran has united them under the umbrella of Shia Islam, protests still occur frequently. Recently, protests that began in December 2025 are still ongoing, with over 7,000 deaths so far, the largest since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Controlling such diversity has always been difficult. However, while this diversity is a challenge for Iran, it is even a bigger challenge for any invader. Anyone trying to conquer Iran must first overcome geography and then unify its people, an almost impossible task. This is why during the British colonial period, Iran was never fully colonized, unlike the Indian subcontinent. The US and Israel understand this well. That is why leaders like Trump have repeatedly suggested that Iran's people themselves should overthrow the regime, because defeating Iran without internal support is almost impossible. In 1941, Britain and Russia occupied Iran only with the help of the Shah's son to prevent Nazi forces from using Iran as a base. Even then, internal divisions led to near-civil war conditions. Despite internal differences, Iran's population is 95% Shia Muslim. Historically, whenever Iran has been attacked, these groups unite. In September 1980, after the Iranian Revolution, Saddam Hussein assumed Iran was weak and attacked. What he thought would be an easy victory turned into an 8-year war. Although Iraq initially advanced, Iran reclaimed its territory within 2 years. Not only the military, but civilians also joined the war. Saddam expected internal divisions, but instead, unity strengthened Iranian nationalism. After 8 years and about 1 million casualties, Iraq was forced to retreat without gaining even 1 inch of land. Iran's most dangerous weapon is not its army, it is its size. Covering 1.6 million square kilometers, it is like a strategic maze, large enough to fit 2 countries the size of Pakistan. Even if an army crosses the border, victory is not immediate. They must navigate ancient mountain paths, deserts, and deep interior cities. This is called strategic depth. The deeper the enemy goes, the longer their supply lines become, increasing pressure and giving defenders more time. Major cities like Tehran, Isfahan, and Mashhad are located deep inside, not near borders. By the time the enemies reach them, they are already exhausted. It would not be wrong to say that Iran's land itself acts as a silent guardian, using time as its greatest weapon.
We hope you liked this video from Strategic Earth Channel. Thank you for your kind comments. See you in the next video.